let's settle this all time, man. Let's settle this, guys. We're about to end it here. Jadon Cal's opinion is what's going to stick. This is law. Brad Pitt is a better actor than Tom Cruise. Yes, no, sorry, maybe. The Battle of the Titans.
I'm gonna get killed, bro.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is your host, Dee Boogie Brown, and we are here with another Creative Chronicles episode. But this time, guys, this is the first time. We have an actor, producer on the show. And guess what? He has his movie in theaters. Everybody give a warm welcome to Jadon Cal. How you doing, brother?
Good, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, here in Atlanta, you know. Excited to be here.
Absolutely. So I would say welcome back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, bro, I every time you come to visit, man, I just appreciate you hitting me up, man. Thank you so much. But you're here to actually do some business, right? Some work, right? So before you get into that, right, tell the audience a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, make films, you know. Started off acting, got into to writing, and started producing because I didn't want to wait to get picked. Absolutely. So just been doing that on repeat.
Absolutely, man. I love it. So Jaden, I want to roll into the show because we're reporting live from Atlanta, Georgia, right? So I want to let the audience know, like, your reason even for being in Atlanta at this point. You know what I mean? Because I know that you're from Florida, correct?
Well, born in Santa Monica,
Born
California.
in Santa Monica.
Yeah.
Nice.
Grew up in Florida, though. Yep.
There we go.
Yeah.
And then now you're currently living in LA, correct?
Yeah.
And we're going to come back to that because I got some questions about that, right? But let the audience know why you're here in Atlanta.
Yeah, man, it's to promote our film, do an industry screening. We, it's funny, I was telling Jake, my producing partner, about our trajectory. You know, our first movie in 2020 that we did together, we did a little screening in Florida, our small town, and now we're expanding with our next movie, and we're taking it to Atlanta, LA, New York. We've been thinking about Texas. So yeah, it's just to, build more awareness, connect with other filmmakers, see who we could work with in the future.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And that's a beautiful thing. Also, shout out to Jake. I'm still trying to convince him to be on the show. He's in the background, but we're all creatives in here. So, the thing is, like, I would say you guys, when I first met you guys, like, together, I was like, this is going to be the new dynamic duo, right? Like, the thing is, like, everybody knows that every director, producer needs his DP. If you know, like, DP is one of the most important jobs on set.
Oh yeah, and Jake's a director too, and a insane producer, man. Like, I mean, I wouldn't be as far as I've gone in my producing, directing side of things without him. I mean, when I first wanted to make a feature film, he told me I wasn't ready to make a feature film. He said, "You're not ready, bro." I said, "All right, well, let's give it a shot." And it was during COVID, and we made it, and I've learned so much, under his mentorship.
Absolutely.
And yeah, man, shout out to Jake.
Absolutely, man. So I want to bring it back, man, because, like, did he give you the reason why you weren't ready?
No, it was more just a joke.
Yeah.
It's just kind of our thing. We just, oh, you're not ready, just because it really is such a task.
Mm-hmm.
Jake had already produced and shot and directed a handful of features. He started back in 2013, and I had just directed and produced a short film with him as my DP. And we were looking at one of his earlier movies, Terror Talk.
Nice.
And he mentioned that he had a spiritual successor, a sequel to the film, and COVID had just happened, and I wanted to make a feature film. I said, look, the world's shut down. Let's build up. Absolutely. So Absolutely. That's what we did.
And this is off rip.
No, that's Mind Games.
Oh,
it's a movie that came out in 2021.
Nice.
Feature we produced. Our budget was about $20,000.
Nice.
Made it for nothing really. Mm-hmm. 4 locations, probably 12 actors total. Mm-hmm. Took place mostly in an RV. It's a character that's in the military that gets stranded and held captive by this kind of crazy man. It's on Tubi.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where can we find it?
Yeah, it's on Tubi. Okay. I think it might be on Amazon too.
Nice, man.
It doesn't compare to what we're doing now, but hey, it's where we were.
It's a growth process, man. That's all it is. So the thing is, I have some questions for you, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna bring it back, right?
Yeah.
I want the audience to really understand who you are and what it took to get here, because I feel like in today's society, everybody only praises the success part of the journey, right? Like, so the thing is, like, I want to tap into your upbringing, right? So when you were a child, so from my understanding, right, is you were brought up in the industry, correct?
A little bit, yeah. My parents were both actors, but they didn't allow me to audition. They didn't want me to be a child actor. So I got to study the craft a bit. I got to learn under my dad as a teacher. He taught acting classes. And then I got to act in a couple independent films that he made, because he started getting into producing himself. But other than that, you know, I didn't see much of the industry.
Yeah. And why was that, if I may ask?
Well, you know what can happen to child actors. They have a skewed perception of reality, you know, and then it affects their adult life, or their young adult life, at least, until they get back on track. And so, you know, I appreciate my parents for doing that, even though sometimes I think, oh man, I could have been in this or that when I was a young teen, and maybe it would have helped me get this trajectory. Or, but at the end of the day, you know, I wouldn't have been on the journey I'm on, which I've been really blessed to have. So,
absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Shout out to your parents for that, man.
Yeah.
They really wanted to protect you from the industry.
Yeah.
And now that you look back at it in hindsight, you understand why they did that.
well, and I would do the same thing to my
Absolutely.
kids, you know, future kids. I look at, you know, I think there's something to be said about what I learned in growing up in a small town, just having to work hard and not getting any handouts. And, you know, sometimes if you get in the industry early, especially with actor parents, you know, you might get a couple handouts and you might see the world differently.
That's a gem, y'all. We're not even at the portion of dropping gems, but he's giving y'all game right now. Like, oh man, that is so good. That is so good. So I wanted to roll into the next question is like, so you started as a teenager, I'm guessing, in acting in your dad's films, correct?
No, I wasn't even a teenager. I might have been 10 years old.
10 years old.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I mean, even younger when I did a small part, but I played a lead role when I was around 10.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like, you were a lead at 10?
Yeah, I was the main character in a movie called Adventure Scouts. I mean, it was on Netflix back in the day. It hit worldwide, theatrical. Yeah, it made like 12, 14 mil. It was a kid's movie. Yeah, back in the day, yeah.
That is so big, man.
But the thing is what's crazy being independent, you know, distribution, he got screwed over and didn't see a dime of it. And well, I've learned some lessons from his mistakes I've picked up on. And the distribution game, that's a totally different conversation.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's something to watch out for.
Oh man, and that's great. And you see how that all worked for you because you learned at a young age still, even not being as involved in the film world. But the thing is, you've seen how wicked the industry could be, you know?
Yeah, it's dog eat dog, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. And I'm pretty sure your father is the nicest person, right? I can tell that spirit has been passed through to you as well. So the thing is, like, I want to talk about even how many films you've been in. How many films have you been in to date?
I don't know, man. I have to go on IMDb.
And that's so good because some people out there is like, what is IMDb? But tell people about what IMDb is.
Internet Movie Database. It's just, it's like the Wikipedia plus social media of, you know, movies and TV. Nice. It's where you can see all the credits of someone's career and what they're doing and what they might have in the future. IMDb Pro, you get more information, obviously. Absolutely. Different contacts and stuff like that.
So if you could ballpark it, how many movies would you think?
Features.
Just all together, right?
Or features and
just
shorts.
One set. Yeah.
I think I got something like 40 projects or something. Something like that.
Oh, man.
Not all of them are super high quality you know, I only have a select few that when people ask what I've been in, I'll say, oh, check this out and this out and this out. Everything else, you could just, you know.
Yeah, just be like,
those were all practice.
Right. I love it. So, all right, so let's bring it back, man. Tell me about Jadon Cal as a kid, man. Like before, you know, thinking about the big dreams and things like that. Give me a little bit about your backstory as far as growing up, some of the things you like to do.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've always been into stories. I used to love fantasy stuff, even video games. I was a bit of a gamer growing up. I was kind of an athlete by force, not necessarily choice. My dad was also an NFL athlete, and his brothers were in the NFL. Nice. Three of them.
What teams?
Well, so my dad was with the teams were different back in the day in the 80s, but he was with Chicago, and he also played in the USFL with the Tampa Bay Bandits. He did Canadian football.
Yeah.
my Uncle Tony, who was a Miami Hurricane national champion, he was with the Houston Oilers, and my Uncle Chris was with Louisville as a running back. Actually, I think he might have got injured. I don't know if he went pro. I'll have to ask him.
Yeah, man.
I'll see him over the holidays.
Right.
I just saw him, man. He was just telling me about his story about being a Louisville, going to Louisville. He was going to go to Florida State, and then was it Schnellenberger? I don't want to butcher this, but yeah, I gave him a call last minute. He had the guys in his living room he was about to sign with. This guy goes, "I want you to play for me."
Right.
And he just came out. He said, "Hey, I got to play for him," because he grew up and that coach was coaching my Uncle Tony for the national championship.
Yeah.
And he dropped everything to go to that school.
Relationships, man.
Yeah.
That's the name of the game too.
Yeah.
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah, partially.
Yeah, man. Because he made that call and
it was over.
just like that, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing, man.
Yeah, and they
That's
were
amazing.
buttering him up for a year, and then he said, "Sorry guys, I got to go to Louisville."
Yeah. That's awesome, man. That's
But
awesome.
but yeah, sorry to
No, you're
go on a
good.
tangent a bit,
Yeah,
but yeah, childhood, man. I always loved stories. I used to write short stories just growing up, and characters, and different kind of comics in a way, not necessarily comic format, but just creating stuff. And played football growing up, basketball, baseball, mostly football.
Absolutely.
Going into high school.
Yeah, man.
And then, got into skateboarding. And
Nice.
I was in that culture.
Yeah, man.
I used to shop at Hot Topic, wear the skinny jeans.
Did we all,
back in the
man?
day?
I got the belt still.
Yeah. And I hit the different skate parks and live that kind of life. I don't think I fully knew who I was when I was obviously growing up, which a lot of kids don't. And so I kind of tried all the trends, even I had friends that weren't the best influences that I, would cling on to because they were cool or whatever.
Right.
Who some of them I'm still super close with now. One of my buddies, Scott, I've known since third grade. He transformed come high school, and he's a new man these days. And but yeah, man. So
It sounds like you had a very well-rounded upbringing, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, a lot of people got to understand, like, you said something. You've always been creative. Like, and this is Creative Chronicles, right? And you said you draw and you used to be in comic books and things like that. And I tell people all the time, like, creatives, we spend a lot of time alone. Like, you know what I mean? We spend a lot of time alone doing these different creative things. And there's always, every single episode that I've ever interviewed somebody always gives me something like that, like they were into comics, drawing. And that was my thing. I used to, not to tell my age, I used to trade Dragon Ball Z photos and stuff like that, but I used to be into anime really, really heavy. But the thing is, we all as creatives, and I believe that everybody has a creative gift, right? But the thing is, I feel like most of us, life is so hard to where we get distracted from it and we kind of move away from our creative gifts, so you have a choice.
yeah, the world kind of tells you, what's possible and what's not, and some people let the dream die. And actually, in Off Rip, there's a pretty hefty monologue about that, where the mentor character talks about 1 year down the line, your dream seems like this distant thing, and then 2 years, and then 4 years following, chasing you forgot about the dream, and it's stuffed in this box somewhere. I'm totally butchering the monologue. You'll have to watch the movie, but there's I've always felt that way, and it is a dream to a certain extent, but at the same time, man, the journey it's been, I just say I'm living the dream. It's a dream every day. I mean, we're out here in Atlanta doing a screening. It's crazy, bro. So the dream is possible. You just have to wake up and work for it every day.
I love it, man. I love it. That was great. And that leads me to my next point. I wanted to talk to you about what it took. Like, just give me some of the trying moments since we're into Off Rip, right? Give me some of the trying moments to get Off Rip started, right? Because I got another moment that we shared.
Yeah.
Leading up to that. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's go. Let's
start there.
Let's start there, right? So the thing is, me and Jadon Cal, we met on set shooting College Hill, the hit show College Hill in Houston, Texas, right? Big multi-million-dollar budget. They gutted a whole mansion. It was crazy, right? So the thing was, just a little backstory on Jadon. Like, I remember, bro, you were so driven on this film and this was 2 years ago, right? 2.5 years ago.
Yep.
You were so driven on this film. And I remember every single day you were working at it, you were studying the lines.
Might have been 3 years ago.
It might have been 3, right?
2021?
Yeah. 2020, yeah. Was
December?
Yeah.
That's 3 years,
it was
bro.
cold out there.
That's 3 years.
Yeah, that's 3 years, right? 3 years in the making. That's even a testimony. That's how long it took to get here.
Well, and I wrote the script in 2020.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 4 years.
4 years in the and people think it happens so quick.
Yeah.
Like when people like reach out to me, they're like, "Oh, D, I want to shoot a film." I'm like,
good luck. That's why Jake told me you ain't ready to make a feature film.
Right, exactly right. Shout out to Jake again. Look, we're gonna get Jake over here, right? So the thing is, it's like I want to touch base on one of the things that made me, in my mind, realize that you were different. Could you tell the viewers about a time that you tried to get Matthew McConaughey's attention, and what did that look like? What was that?
Yeah, man, that was one of the many things that we did to try to get this movie going. You know, obviously, independent feature films, funding is hard enough, let alone, you know, most movies that come out, people say who's in it. So if you get someone who's in it who is known, it's a lot easier. You know, it's like the guys who make Good Time. Robert Pattinson reached out to them, and suddenly, boom, they have funding. And that's not, I didn't necessarily only want to get McConaughey for that, because when I had written the script, I'd pictured him as I was writing it. You know, I talked about on a previous little interview, I write from real life people that I know, or at least know of, and build off of them. Absolutely. And so he was always in my mind's eye as I was crafting the script. And you know, Jake and I were thinking about different ways we could get financing for the movie. And one of the ways was to try and get McConaughey in the film. And we drove from St. Pete, Florida, all the way to Austin, Texas, a 17-hour drive, stayed in an Airbnb. This was right before Christmas, too. This was, you know, late in the year. And, yeah, we made wanted flyers with his face on it, and it was a whole Western-themed shoot that we did. And it linked to a QR code that linked to a pitch video that we had shot prior and edited, and it was a 5-minute video on pitching him on why we want him in the movie and why I think he's the perfect guy to play the role. Yeah. And, you know, that might not have worked. We might not have gotten him in the movie, but that was a key reason the movie got funded. And so I don't know if I told you that, but our main investor, who saw the fact that we were willing to drive across the country, we were willing to put flyers around the College of Texas at Austin. We were willing to put flyers on random posts, you know, poles and posts, and you know, Jake even found his house. We found his security guard. We literally gave them. I said, "Hey, can I give you a card?" Because they wouldn't let us drop off the script, no gifts or anything. And I said, "Yeah, can I give you a card?" And he goes, "Oh, sure." And it was a Christmas card. It wasn't a business card. And I'd written a thing. I mean, I don't know if he ever gave it to him. Probably not. But yeah, man, it was a whole thing. But that journey of just trying to get this actor that we believed was perfect for the role was what got us our financing.
Oh, man. That's a testimony story, bro.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when you told me that story, bro, I was like, oh, yeah, this kid's going places.
Well, and when we met, too, we were on that show.
Yeah.
And in between, I remember we were.
You took your days off and you drove.
On my days off, I still had more posters, and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna drive 3 hours to Austin," and I went to South by Southwest.
Absolutely,
I started flying around there. I was like, maybe at the film festival.
And Jaden planned it down, because we worked 12-hour shifts, and on his only off days,
overnights too,
right? Overnights,
bro.
On his only off days, this brother got in his car and drove up to Austin to work on his off days towards his dream. Man, I knew it. I said, this brother has a burning fire inside of him. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, man. You know, at the end of the day, I think if you just keep investing in yourself and pushing every day, it pays off.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely, man. That's great, man. And the thing is, do you feel like Matthew McConaughey has seen it?
I think he may have, man, because we got phone calls. We had people. We had a professor call us. Mm-hmm. We had a realtor call us. He said, "Hey, man, you know, I know McConaughey. I could get him. I could get in touch with him. Blah blah blah." So he might have gotten word about it.
Yeah.
But obviously, you know, even if he looked us up, we hadn't had any great credits. That now we have a movie that I believe is good enough to where if we reach out to another actor for another film who. I have an actor in mind for my next script
Absolutely.
who I want to reach out to. Now we have a movie that will be, a reputable piece.
Absolutely.
That is quality enough that shows, hey, we made a movie with this. We're looking to get this and put these pieces together. I mean, I think we'll have a little bit more respect.
Absolutely.
And I totally understand from his perspective, being an established actor and having your career somewhere. I mean, even with me, as I'm climbing, the staircase or the ladder a little bit, I'm realizing the way I see certain productions, but I try to keep the mindset of realizing the journey I've been on,
Absolutely.
and to not look down or not believe in someone just because they don't have a certain credit yet. But really just, look at the person and see who they are in their spirit, see who their, what their creativity is like. Because, if they've made a 1 minute, 2 minute short film with an iPhone, it could still be great. And you can see the potential in people.
Absolutely.
And so I try to keep that mindset, but I totally understand, having to build your blocks a bit.
I agree 1,000%. You said something that even resonated with me. Like, as I'm climbing, and I've been doing this for a while too, and people ask me all the time, like, for favors and like, hey, D, can you do this? And sometimes it gets overwhelming because we're still growing. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's only so much you can carry. So I can just imagine what it's like at a level of Matthew McConaughey. Like, you know what I mean? The emails, the texts. I'm pretty sure he has.
Oh, he doesn't see them.
Yeah, he doesn't see them.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Because he's, whatever.
I mean, at the end of the day, those agencies, is it greenlit? Do you have, a couple mil to put on a deposit?
Yeah.
If you don't have that, he's not getting the script.
He's not even getting the script.
Which is why we tried that unconventional way, because we knew he wasn't ever going to get. We knew we couldn't get in touch, so we tried another way.
Absolutely, man. And the thing is, I feel like everything in the universe comes full circle.
Yeah.
So I believe that soon, you and Matthew McConaughey will be on the same set.
Well, hey, your lips to God's ears, man. If I know he was up for a Taylor Sheridan thing, and that's always been a dream of mine. So we'll see.
Nice, man, nice. All right, so moving on, man. Thank you for that piece. So the thing is, like, you moved to LA, right? What was that experience like, coming from a small town? You moved to LA, in this you're literally battling with the giants at this point. You know what I mean? Like, LA is the cream of the crop, right?
Yeah, man.
What was that experience like for you?
Oh, dude, it was. I mean, I've moved back and forth to. Here's the thing: failure. A lot of people talk about. It's not failure if you don't quit, which I really respect. Kind of the whole thing of getting kicked in the face, getting knocked down, because that's what happened to me. I've moved to LA and back 4 times.
Right.
And so when I first came out in 2016, I mean, my whole family came out for a couple months and they left. And then my brother and I were out there, and then we got evicted. Then my brother left, and then I got into just some other things. And, I was in the weed business for a bit, and, that's another story for another day. But, jumping around, I was in a cheap house on a $250 a month. I was splitting a room with my boy Deshaun, who I'm still super close with, and he's killing it now, bro. He's a professional dancer, actor. He danced at the Oscars with Ryan Gosling. Like, he's been coming up. And back in the day, bro, he didn't even have a car. I used to drive him to Burbank Town Center, where he would dance on the street and street perform. And we're still tight.
That's dope.
He got me on a Squid Games commercial I did this year with him. And we climbing together, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean, it was tough, dude. I was making no money and just bouncing around. I was getting into acting classes and did modeling for a little bit. I found out that wasn't my thing. I just love storytelling more than just kind of the photos, and it's just not my thing.
Oh my goodness! So even the thing is, like, that, I love that, because you're showing what you're willing to sacrifice just to make your movies work, right?
Yeah.
You took that leap of faith. People don't even understand how hard it is to leave the nest.
Yeah.
Like, it's a mental strain. It's a spiritual strain. Like, I'm pretty sure there was mornings where you woke up like, man, I'm about to move back home, bro. Like, I'm getting my butt whipped, like, every which way, man. So. Well,
honestly, as a creative, man, I would encourage people to not try and live too fancy of a lifestyle so that you can focus on your creativity. Because I did, 2016 through 2019, I was in LA. And then I was going through some stuff, came back, actually end of 2018, early 2019, I came back. Bro, I stayed in Florida for a couple years. I came back into the nest.
Yeah.
But you know what I was able to do? I worked a job where I saved up, bought some cameras, got some stuff, I went to different film schools. I auditioned for short films, for student films. Built up a bit of a demo reel, made my first short film. That's how I met Jake. We produced a short film, and then boom, COVID hit, and then we produced our first feature. And you know, I was with my parents for a couple of years, man, just working jobs. But if I was in LA doing that stuff, man, I mean, it would have been. I don't know if I would have been able to get as far as I've gotten because I wouldn't have had as much time.
Right, absolutely.
So you know, I mean, I don't know, man. It's a tough thing to say. You know, I know with the way our culture is, it's like, oh yeah, 18, go out and conquer the world. But that can be really tough, you know, because the finances of everything.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm 28 now, and it's still not easy financially.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, I mean, I would encourage people, you know, to think about it. I think if you're in a small town, it's almost better to build yourself up there until you literally feel like, oh, I'm too big of a fish. Now I need to go. Because my thing is I went out at 19 years old and I got kicked in the face.
Right.
And so then I realized this is too much. And so after 2.5 years, I was like, let me just go back home and figure it out.
Absolutely.
And then I built up from there, and now I'm back in LA.
You just answered my second question to that, because I was going to ask, would you recommend an actor to move to LA to pursue a career?
Here's the thing. If you're just an actor, and I don't want to downplay just acting, but if you're not trying to write, produce, if you just want to work a gig, make some money, do your acting classes, do your plays, and audition, that's great. You could do that. But I think nowadays, obviously writing, producing, getting your own self out there, whether people are doing skits, films, whatever it is, you know, I would say build up where you're at, because with the internet, you could be anywhere. You know, I mean, Hollywood isn't what it used to be.
Right.
Honestly.
It's not, man.
I mean, we're in Atlanta promoting a film.
Yeah, absolutely right. It's different.
Yeah.
Because independent filmmaking, it made it now to where it's all over. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's everywhere now. Like, you can go get a camera. Like you said, people are making movies on iPhones that's on major streaming networks.
Look at Sean Baker.
Exactly.
His movie that blew up, iPhone.
iPhone, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's
Tangerine.
crazy. You're right. You don't need $1 million to make a movie anymore.
I mean, he probably had a little bit of a budget because I know they modified it and stuff like that.
For
but
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, my first project that I shot creatively back when I moved back to Florida was on an iPhone.
Absolutely.
I didn't have any connections. I didn't have actors. So I did stop motion animation with Legos.
Nice, man.
It was for a little competition. That was back in 2018.
That's the creative
6
in
years
you,
ago.
man. That's the creative in you, bro.
I
Like,
won't
you
do
were
that
just
again,
though. So I'm pretty sure it was so hard, bro. Like, but the thing is, like, I love how you are still just so motivated after all of that. And that's what I want the viewers to see. You're still trucking along. Like, you didn't give up. Like,
I want to sometimes. Bro, I mean, I think community is key. You know, having a at least one partner you can truck together with. You know, me having Jake, for example. I mean, we've been locked, you know, arms locked together for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have that, I don't know if I, like I said, I don't know where I would be, honestly. And now, you know, I've got a beautiful woman in my life that is also an actress, and she just produced her first short that we co-directed.
Nice, man.
And so now it's, you know, I'm kind of building up, you know, I'm locking more arms with more talented creatives, but it's not just the creative, it's the real relationship. You know, Jake's one of my best friends. Megan is my lady, my future wife. And so it's like, we're building it, you know, authentically as people, and then also creative. And I think that's really important. If you try to do it solo, it's just so hard. I don't know if it's possible.
That's good, man. That's so good, man. And the thing is, man, like, I most definitely wish you nothing but greatness, prosperity, man. And I feel like this is my personal opinion on this, is when you are chasing a dream, the universe just naturally gives you the people that you need to accomplish that dream. It's so crazy how you meet people along the way, right? But now this is the part that sucks, because as you're meeting people along the way, some of your old friends are shedding away, like old relationships and things like that. But that's a part of growth. And the thing is, you are being set up right now to walk into your best year yet. Like, you have everything around you. Like you said, community, man. I think that's awesome, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So,
community's everything.
Absolutely. So the last thing I want to ask before we go into a commercial break, I want to give you the opportunity to tell the audience what is off rip, man.
Oh yeah, should I look at the camera for this?
Yeah,
or?
you can, man, for sure. Yeah.
Off Rip is the first ever skimboarding movie in cinema history. Think of Lords of Dogtown, which is more skating and surfing. Think of mid-90s, which is skating. Blue Crush, which is surfing. So think of all these movies, but skimboarding. If you don't know what skimboarding is, look up Lucas Fink, Lucasfink. He's the top skimboarder in the world, skimboarding 100-foot waves in Nazaré, Portugal, skimboarding around the world, really making the sport known. He's our Tony Hawk that's in the movie, essentially. But it's and while it is about skimboarding and we're trying to, blow up the sport and get recognition for these guys, it's also a very intimate story. Absolutely. It's a small town coming of age story based on myself, essentially. And it takes place in my hometown. It takes place on the beaches at the high school that I was zoned for, but I didn't go to. Nice. But it takes place in all these areas, and it's about a young kid who's living with his single mother, his little brother. He has this big dream of going pro as a skimboarder. Nice. His best friend is a burnout who used to be the best skimboarder on the beaches, but kind of just getting into drugs and that whole thing and falling off, which is very prevalent in small towns. Competition rolls into town, opportunity for sponsorships. So Zap Skimboards is one of the sponsors of the movie, and we use them as the company, as well as Shore Pound, which is one of the competition owners and clothing companies and stuff like that. Anyways, a competition rolls into town. He gets an opportunity to go compete and potentially go pro, and the movie's about that journey. But in the midst of that journey of him getting ready for this competition to go pro, he's dealing with his burnout best friend who's kind of pulling him into the drug scene, that gritty side of things and that lifestyle that, he's kind of has to shed that relationship. Absolutely. Like you just said. He's dealing with being the man of his household that he doesn't have, and learning how to teach his brother things that he's learning still at the same time, right? And supporting, helping his single mother kind of parent the household, and then navigating high school and dealing with confrontation. There's a bit of an athlete confrontation with one of the star football players, and they there's a kind of a love triangle with the girl, and then there's there's a lot of relationship dynamics, and man, it's just a really fun coming of age story. Luckily, the guy who played the burnout best friend, he did comedy in New York for 6 years. And so he brought so much life, more life than I could ever have imagined or even written on the page. And he made the movie have amazing lighthearted moments. And he made it really fun and chaotic and crazy, which I really love and am so grateful for, because the movie is very, very heavy and poignant in good ways, but it's got a good balance. Absolutely. And so, man, it's a classic coming-of-age movie. I grew up on early 2000s coming-of-age movies, and this is my version of it.
Hey, man, there you go. And you wrote and directed this, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice, man. Congratulations on that. Where can everybody find it? Where are you trying to put it? I know you're just screening it at this moment, but maybe by the time they see this podcast, where are you planning on putting it?
Yeah, man, I would say stay connected on social media. Off Rip Skim, nice. OFFRIPSKIM. Is the Instagram where we really post on that stuff, and then just my personal Jadon Cal is we'll have updates. We're going to do a screening in L.A., New York. We submitted to Tribeca, so if we get in there, which we had a film in Tribeca last year, so maybe. Yeah. But if not, we'll do a screening there, nice. And then maybe Texas, and man, we're just going to do screenings until we figure out the best way to release it.
Yeah, man, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. All right, guys, man, this interview is heating up, man. Look, stay tuned for your favorite. We got Dropping Gems and Creative Blitz coming up next, but we're going to give a special shout out to Wandar. Stay tuned. We got Jadon Cal in the building.
The Wandar app is a user-friendly mobile application that uses geolocation to connect clients with creatives in your community. By simply entering keywords like wedding photographer into our search engine, Wandar will display all available wedding photographers nearby. Each creative professional has their own user profile showcasing rates, reviews, availability, and a portfolio of their past projects. Once you select your preferred creative, you can directly communicate with them to discuss your specific requirements. Wandar, connecting clients with creatives in your community.
back. Special shout out to Wandar, our sponsor for today, connecting clients with creators in your community, man. Make sure you guys go download the app, all right? Jaden, what'd you think about the app, man?
Oh, I'm stoked to check it out, man.
Absolutely.
It sounds like a really good, opportunity. I use Actors Access for one thing, but to have your profile, like you were mentioning, kind of pinpointed on your geographic location, I think for the indie scene especially, it could be useful.
Absolutely, man. And that's what it's for, guys. Look, you heard it first, all right? But we're about to get into it. It is time for Dropping Gems, all right? So this is the segment of the show to where creatives like yourself aspiring to get to where Jadon Cal is, you can hear it straight from him how to even get there and some of his tips and tricks on how he got there. All right, let's get into it. Jaden, you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. So how does an aspiring actor get work?
You got to make work.
Just that simple.
Do we need to expand on that?
I think that was good. But for the audience out there, let's just expand on it just a little more, right?
Yeah, I didn't start booking work till I started producing my own short films. So until I had footage that I had produced with stuff I was passionate about, with characters that I knew I could do, I used that footage to really book jobs. A lot of agents, no one's going to take you seriously till you have footage. No one's going to take you seriously till you have some kind of credits. So if you're not going to get cast, then you got to make your own. Or, there's a lot of people that take the theater route. People do, Broadway, which is obviously the higher end of it. People do showcases. But what I've talked about recently with filmmakers and other actors as I've been coming up is, my parents back in the 80s, they would do showcases in a theater.
Right.
Which is great. All the casting directors, everyone's in Hollywood, they would all come up and watch the plays.
Right.
And then boom, you could get cast in a movie. You could get this play maybe adapted into a film.
Right.
Well, nowadays the independent film is your showcase.
Right.
That is your play.
Nice.
And it's on a nationwide scale, worldwide scale. So you, instead of doing a showcase and doing it at a theater and hoping 10 people show up that could help you out, you could show it to millions.
Jaden, you just gave him so much. Because even I just learned a thing or two. Like, sheesh. Dropping gems, guys. This is only the beginning of it. I hope you soaked up all of that. We're going to go to the next one, all right? So a lot of things that actors, they come out the gate swinging, right? But this question will be more for our more seasoned actors that's getting into trying to live off of acting. How do they know what to charge?
Oh man, with acting, it's interesting. You don't really set rates unless you're at the higher level, right? Where maybe there's what they call Schedule F, which you could get an actor like I don't want to necessarily call out names, but certain actors that have been around for a long time. Schedule F is like a $65,000 flat rate for say 5 to 6 days. More established actors, stuff like that. If you're just coming up, man, I mean, I wouldn't say expect to make a living off of it. It's one of those things where, you take the rate that you're given. Sometimes, I've had my manager and agent negotiate up a little bit, but also at the same time, that could lose you a role. If, because at the end of the day, these companies, sadly, what it is they're looking at your following, which honestly, I don't think it always translates. I think talent is important. It has to be a good movie. You see movies in the theater these days with big names, all these big actors, and they flop. Right. Why? I mean, it's because, they're using this. I think audiences can see through that. So at the end of the day, man, just work on your craft and don't worry about the money. And I think it'll come in time.
Dropping gems, guys. Look, we're getting into it. And I agree, right? And I'm just going to piggyback off of that really, really quickly. Is I tell creatives that's coming into a craft, if you haven't gotten that 10,000 hours, what is it, 10,000 hours before you master your craft? If you haven't even gotten that yet, don't ask for anything. Get your 10,000 hours in.
Yeah.
The money's going to be there when, like you said, when you're established. And those 10,000 hours, that will establish you. Great dropping gems, guys. Look, we're going to go into this next one, all right? So, can you give our aspiring actors some tips on how to prepare for an audition?
Yeah. Typically when you read audition sides, I think most people, especially the way some of these scripts are written, they almost tell you how to act. I like to just cross out everything that tells me how to do it. Like, oh, this character cries here. Let me just cross that out. and let me just read the script. Let me see how it resonates with me. Let me build a character. You know, as much as I know myself as Jaden, who I am, let me build that in my character. And let me go through the sides and let me experiment, rehearse. A lot of people, you know, will just spend 5 minutes. And, you know, I had a buddy back in the day when I first got into acting. He would hold up his iPhone. All right, you ready? Let's do it. We did one take. You good? He's not acting anymore, right? You have to prepare like it's the job. You can't look at the audition like, you know, you're trying to get something out of it. You know, no, this is the work in front of me. This is my job. I'm going to treat it like a job. Absolutely. And you do it, and then you send it, and you move on, and that's it.
And the thing was, like, when me and you were in Houston on the reality show, I remember you were preparing for a role even then. So I want to ask, is it almost one of those things to where learning a role, getting into the audition phase, is that something that you carry out throughout your day, like how I seen you do? Like, would you advise that, like, or do you advise like taking a break every once in a while,
Yeah, I think you got to marinate in it. I mean, obviously, with an audition, you only have so much time. You know, typically you get 2 to 5 days to do an audition, but sometimes if you do it last minute, they've already cast someone. So you really don't have that much time.
Right.
So I would say, you know, you got to do it to the best of your ability, and you know, yeah, if you can live with it and let it breathe, and you can think about it while you're going about your day, I think that's really beneficial.
Absolutely, man. So now you just said something that's leading to my next one with casting someone else. Can you give a few tips on how to handle rejection? Because we know that the audition world, you know, some of our greatest actors and actresses have been rejected a lot of times before they started getting their hits. What's some ways that you can tell aspiring actors how to handle rejection?
Yeah, man, I think you have to change your mindset on what rejection is and not see it as rejection. You know, I was just up for a TV show, a pretty solid role. I got pinned for it. I saw this other guy that got cast for it. And, you know, I just realized that was always meant for him. And you know, as I've gone further and further along my journey with auditioning, and I've seen the path that God has led me on, I just realized that my path is laid out before me, and I just take the steps. And, you know, it's one of those things where that's why I was saying previously, if you treat the audition as the job, there is no rejection because you already did the job. So then you did the gig, and now you're moving on. And you're not waiting around to get picked because, like I said, that was the job. That was the job. You're not doing that to get something. You know, you're doing that to practice your craft. Someone that is getting paid to cast a movie picked you to work on your craft.
Absolutely.
And just do that.
Oh, man. That's so good, man. It's like you already did the work, so how can they reject you?
Yeah.
Dropping gems, y'all. This is it. We're in it now. Like, we're in it now. You're hearing it straight from Jadon Cal.
Yeah, and well, real quick, I won't act like it's not a thing. You know, I think we all, especially if, like you said, you're trying to do it full time. You know, you put a lot of pressure on trying to get work. Right. But I think that's how you get burnout. Because for me, when I've put pressure on, first of all, anytime I really want a job, I never get it. I only get funny enough, I get the movies that I don't even think about. The ones where I get auditions, some of my biggest bookings, I rolled out of bed and did the audition. One of them, I kind of rolled out of bed and did it. But I still prepared the days before, but I wasn't really into it. So my point is there's some kind of energetic thing when you don't put it above you that you can do better work. You know, I think people can see the energy when you go on to do an audition or a tape and you try to nail it perfectly like you planned it, and you try to do your slate and look like presentable and all this stuff. So I get it, the pressure of wanting to do it full time and book it, but yeah, man, you just have to eventually let it go, which I guess is hard to do for anybody, especially when you love it and you care about it. But you have to be more in love with the craft than the result of the job.
Absolutely.
You know?
There we go. More in love with the craft than the result of the job. Jaden, man, you dropping some heat right now. We might have to change this to dropping heat right now. Like, look, my boy Jadon Cal, man. Look, okay, so going to the next one. Thank you for that. What does work-life balance look like for actors starting out?
Starting out is different than once you get your feet more established. I think starting out, you kind of have to be, well, let me not take my journey and make it a general statement. Mm-hmm. My journey was I was a chicken with my head cut off. Mm-hmm. And I spent every waking moment doing everything I could, right, all times of the day. Mm-hmm. But it did cost me relationships. It did cost me, memories and things like that. And it can make you resent having fun. Right. So I don't necessarily think that's the way, but at the same time, you have to be willing to do whatever it takes, especially in the beginning. I mean, if you're working on your craft as an actor once a week in class, that's great. Mm-hmm. But what are you doing the other 6 days? Yeah. Or let's say 5 days. Say you take 1 day a week off, mm-hmm, right? God rested on the 7th day, yeah, right? So say you do 6 days a week. Okay, you do class 1 day. Well, what else are you doing for the other 5 days? I think it can be very beneficial, say you're working on a skill, right? I get auditions sometimes, martial artist, guitarist, horseback riding. Right. These are all things that I'm saying these skills because I've learned them. Right. So for example, I was up for a TV show that needs horseback riding. Mm-hmm. And that was the thing I hadn't quite done, especially because I was allergic to horses as a kid. Oh, man. But what did I do? I got some horseback riding lessons, So I think it's just rounding yourself, mm-hmm, being well-rounded and continuing to grow as an artist, but then also physically, mentally, read books. Don't just read scripts, because scripts are the imagination of someone else. Read history. See, I think there's a lot of knowledge to be had, read the spiritual texts. I mean, I read the Bible. I've never read other spiritual texts, but the Bible to me is the greatest book of wisdom. Come on. And, so yeah, man, I think you got to expand your mind, your physical, your athleticism, mm-hmm, and work on your mindset, and just be a well-rounded person so that you can take the rejection or continue to push forward. But yeah, it's a lot, man. It's a lot to balance, absolutely, especially man, when you're just trying to live. Yes. So the survival part of it. Yeah, man, you gotta be willing to sacrifice lifestyle for sure. Yeah. To a certain extent. Right. Because it's not pretty at the beginning. Yeah. Right. Like everybody thinks it's like glitz and glamour at the beginning, and it's not. Yeah. And here's the thing: as an actor, right? I mean, as an artist, you're thriving off imagination. Right. Right. So, I mean, why can't you do that in your lifestyle a little bit? I mean, sounds kind of funny, but like you could have so much fun with nothing. You don't need to stack up all this money to go on crazy trips to Bali or wherever. Right. I mean, man, like you can have so much fun just going to the park. Seriously, so my point is you can still have a fun lifestyle and be an actor coming up. Absolutely. Because some people they get into the 6-figure jobs and all that stuff, but then they have no time for acting. Yeah, man. So you got to be willing to sacrifice something. They get bogged down, man. Yeah. That's crazy. That's a gem, man. Like, I once, it's so crazy because it's like a scripture. It's like a pastor at once said that God will not give you more if you can't take care of what you already have, right? So it's like almost like enjoy the life that you have, the things that you have, before he gives you more. Well, and even investing, right? So there's the parable of the talents that Jesus said. Yeah. There's one man that had 1 talent, one that had either I think 2, and then the other had 10, or maybe it was 1, 5, 10. And the guy that had the 1 talent, call it money, right? Yeah. He buried it. Mm-hmm. The other guy that had 2 doubled it, and the guy that had 10 doubled it. And so he went and he said, "Good job, you doubled this. Good job." And he goes to the person with 1. "Well, I buried it because I only had 1." Mm. And then Jesus was basically saying, that's, and then he ends up saying, I don't want to misquote Jesus, so go look up the scripture yourself. But essentially, he talks about whoever doesn't have more will be taken away, and whoever has more, but it's because of the scarcity mindset. Absolutely. And people are afraid to invest because they don't have much. Absolutely. Well, but that's when you need to just go all in. That's when you need to go. Oh, yeah. Man, that's great. That's great.
This is one of those ones, man. I knew this dropping gems was going to be amazing. Like, man, look, you're living up to it, man. All right, so last couple questions here. Actors who want to produce their own films, what's some key tips that you can tell them about that process?
Yeah, start small. Don't write a sci-fi script unless you know how to do VFX
Right.
or know someone that can do it for free. I mean, man, just my first really good short film I did was 3 guys sitting in a bar, and it was 5 minutes, and it was mostly 2 main characters talking across the bar to each other. There's one other guy that has 1 line, and I did that short for I think maybe just over $1,000.
Nice, man.
And you know, I grab people from, you know, I mean, find other people that are where you're at.
Right.
You know, don't try to call Michael Bay. Like that was kind of what I did with the whole McConaughey thing, right? We obviously weren't ready.
Yeah.
But you know, find people that are where you're at on the journey, partner up with them, and yeah, start small, man. Film a scene. Right. Film a scene before you film a feature film. You know, right. Learn the experience, just get the reps in.
Yes. Film a scene before you film a feature film. Ah, man, that's good. And I wish I would have heard that like years ago too, like starting out, because I went straight for the gusto and I fell flat on my face. Like my first like short film, I was not ready. Like I wasn't ready mentally, I wasn't ready physically and spiritually. Like I was sore, like I was beat up, it didn't come out the way I wanted it. And I wish I would have known, like, just film a scene, bro. Just start at a smaller level, man. Dropping gems, guys. He's telling you what, these are just like tips that could literally alleviate so many bumps in the road, so many bumps in your head. Jaden, you're killing it, bro. So I want to ask one last question, right? So this question here is basically to those, because we know the industry's rough, right? We know that, you know, it's one of those things to where, you know, everybody's kind of just scrambling at this point, trying to figure it out. What is a tip that you can give someone that's in the industry right now on, okay, what should I come in the industry doing? Acting, producing, writing, or should I start independent? Should I go big? Like, what is your take on where the industry is going right now?
Yeah, man, I think it's different for everybody. I would say you got to follow your artistic intuition. You got to follow what drives you and what inspires you, right? So if I'm writing a script, or I just finished about my 5th draft on a new screenplay, and it's not it is kind of marketable, but not as marketable as some other ideas that I've been developing. But I'm following the inspiration.
Absolutely.
Because if I try to write a script that I think will sell because it's more commercial, well, it's going to be a hollow movie. Yeah. So you got to follow what your burning desire in your heart is. Because if I don't feel passion or energy toward my script, if I don't feel like like I'm so excited about this script, what's going to happen to this character, well, then I don't think the audience will either.
Absolutely.
So I don't think it's about what you should do. It should be about what you feel and following that. And also, I saw a really good interview, a quick clip on Instagram with Coleman Domingo,
Nice.
the actor.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
And they asked him about, oh, you used to be a starving artist? And he said, when? I don't remember being a starving artist. He never saw himself that way. You know, even when he said, even when I was bartending, doing this stuff, you know, I was just living my life and I'm learning, enjoying, and I'm still doing my craft. I was never a starving artist. It's a perspective thing.
It's a perspective.
Yeah.
Shout out to Coleman Domingo, man. That was fire that you remembered. I'm glad you said that. The audience needed that, man. Look, Jadon Cal, dropping gems, y'all. Y'all just got a full plate. Y'all gonna be full after all these gems he just dropped, man. That's our segment of dropping gems, man. Look, let's get into it, though. Now we're about to have some fun, all right? Creative Blitz, we are here. I'm about to ask Jaden some questions. Man, we're about to have some fun. He has the option of saying yes, no, sorry, or maybe to answer these questions. Jadon Cal, you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and roll into it. Inception is Chris Nolan's best film. Yes, no, sorry, maybe.
Oh, wait. Inception. I thought you...
I know.
Nah, bro, Interstellar all day.
Interstellar.
McConaughey, bro.
Oh man, look,
No,
my
Interstellar.
favorite,
I saw Interstellar in the theater 4 times, bro.
and they just re-released it.
I know, 10th anniversary.
Man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro. Sorry,
man.
I thought you said Interstellar.
Right.
But I did rewatch Inception, and I love that movie. So
Inception's amazing too.
yeah.
Oh man.
Shout out to writers who take crazy chances with their ideas, man, and just go, you know. But look, man. I mean, a writer like that, you know, and a director like that. I mean,
Yeah.
he's not thinking about what's gonna be commercially viable. I mean, his movies are commercial for sure because they're
Right.
grandiose.
Yeah.
But at the same time, man, I mean, the way his mind works with intertwining timelines and everything,
man.
you just got to follow what is artistically true and inspiring to you, and that's how you really find success, man.
Absolutely. Some people are gonna probably kill you, but it's okay though, because I love Interstellar too. Somebody
People hate it for some reason.
Bro, that's what I said. I was like, bro, like people were
love
like,
that
oh, what
movie.
about Memento and what about The Dark Knight? I was like, bro, those are also
Okay, Dark
great.
Knight, Heath Ledger is the Dark Knight.
Oh yeah.
Star.
Fire. One of my favorite movies growing up. Don't get me wrong, but when I see Interstellar,
Yeah, I mean, if we talk about acting, Heath Ledger's Joker is one of my all time. It's one of everybody's all time favorites for sure.
Okay, so let's just throw this card out because that was actually the next one. So I'm
Wait,
asking.
wait,
So the
what
next
is it?
question was: Heath Ledger played the best Joker. Yes, no, sorry, maybe. RP to the gold, man.
I love Joaquin Phoenix though.
Right.
You're my boy, Joaquin.
He's fire, right?
Dude, he's one of my greatest inspirations too. So.
He literally embodied the character.
And it's a different Joker. One's an origin story, and one
Yeah.
you're catching him in a Batman movie. You can't compare them, honestly.
Absolutely. Yeah, man.
but, yeah.
RP Heath Ledger, man. Like, you know, there's Jokers, and then you got Heath.
I mean, yeah, he's still living though, man.
Yeah,
if people
man.
are still talking about you, sharing your story, your journey, I think you're still alive.
Still alive.
So
I love it.
he's alive and well, man.
Live and well. Live and well. Not RP, but live and well. Heath Ledger, man. I love it. Thank you for that too, man. All right, let's get back into it, y'all. All right, next question is, let's settle this all time, man. Let's settle this, guys. We're about to end it here. Jadon Cal's opinion is what's going to stick. This is law. Brad Pitt is a better actor than Tom Cruise. Yes, no, sorry, maybe. The Battle of the Titans.
I'm gonna get killed, bro.
Brad Pitt is a better actor than Tom Cruise. Yes, no, sorry, baby.
To be honest, I haven't seen enough of Tom Cruise's work as an actor to really say. But I love Brad Pitt. I'm just gonna I say maybe. Apples to oranges, bro. They're both legends.
They're both
Tom
legends.
Cruise, man, the stunts he does, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, if I could, I mean, I went skydiving for the first time this past year or last year, and it was tandem.
Absolutely.
Bro, Tom Cruise is a
And
legend.
he makes it look easy.
He's a legend, bro.
Hanging off of planes, like, what's really going on? Like, jumping across buildings, like,
Yeah.
yeah, man. So,
But
yeah,
Brad, that being said, Brad Pitt, one of my favorite roles of his is Inglourious Bastards. Dude, bro, sound good?
right, bro, Brad
Killing
Pitt,
Nazis. Yeah,
His range
yeah.
is incredible. Like, every time I watch a film, I'm like, bro, this is a different person.
Well, and there's a movie I haven't seen of his yet, but he plays this Irish underground boxer, and he's got this incomprehensible accent where he's kind of talking like this weird accent. And he's like, I don't know what you have to look it up, man, but I really want to check it out. But
I need to check that out, bro.
yeah, it's interesting.
Every movie.
Yeah.
He's a monster, bro. Hey, man, so we got the maybe on that one. Let's keep it rolling, man. All right. So now, this is a kind of complicated one, right? You are offered a supporting acting role for Matthew McConaughey's new movie with no pay. But you just got a call from an investor offering $500,000 to film Off Rip 2. You taking the money? Yes, no, sorry, maybe.
Is she joking?
You said a supporting role with Matthew McConaughey is worth more than...
Well, first of all, Off Rip 2 is gonna be $5 million.
Right.
It's gonna be $500K if we did number 2.
Right.
And second of all, I do a movie with McConaughey, man. Dude, I mean, here's the thing, I would do the movie. Really, what the question is do I love the character in the script?
Yeah.
Because if I love that, man, I mean, it honestly doesn't matter who's in it.
The pay, right?
The pay,
exactly,
who's in it, that don't matter.
Exactly, yeah.
But McConaughey, yeah, I mean, if he's in a movie, it's probably gonna be good. So
And the reason why I asked that question is to let people know that sometimes it's about who you work with and who you know, because I know you're going to kill that performance because you've been manifesting this moment for so long. So when you hit the set, you're going to kill it. And like you said, $5 million is going to be nothing to shoot after you kill that role, right?
Yeah,
so it's a whole thing, man. That's why I ask these type of questions, man. It's so dope, man. So dope. All right, next one. All right, so last one, all right? You have a magic genie, Jaden, offering you one wish, but you only have two options. In one hand, the genie says you can become the most celebrated and successful actor-producer in the world, but you can never talk to your friends again. In the other hand, you can grant your friends all of their wishes and dreams, but you can never produce or even act again. Green is your success. Red is your friend's success. Which one you taking?
Well, I can still write scripts, though.
You still write?
I'll just write.
And then you'll be like,
I'll be like, all my friends, I'll be like, hey, I got a script for you, bro. Go make it.
That is so good. Oh, man, ladies and gentlemen, Jadon Cal, man, as sharp as the sharpest knife in the drawer, man. Look, you did amazing on Creative Blitz. That's our time on Creative Blitz. This is our last segment of the show. I know this is everyone's favorite as well. Love is free. We do Love is Free because we want to let creatives know that it's enough for everybody, man. We're not a crabs in a barrel. We got to get out of that like-minded thing. Love is Free is where Jaden will get an opportunity to shout out one creative, show them love, and also as well put their Instagram, social media, whatever it may be on this platform to where more people can find them. Jaden, who's that one creative you're going to show love to?
Well, you know, I've already shouted out Jake a lot. Hey. So what I'll say my lady, Megan Carrasquillo, my Puerto Rican love. She's one of the hardest working people I've ever met. And she is so talented. And she's taught me a lot. And she's, an amazing woman, amazing person. But yeah, man, she's on the rise. I mean, she's booking movies left and right. I think she's probably done 5 movies this year. She's doing international commercials. She's all over the place, man. And like I said, she just wrote and starred in, and we co-directed her first short film. And yeah, man, she was in Off Rip. It was really hard to pick what role for her to play in the movie because she did multiple auditions and was so good. I said, can we put a wig on her and have her do both? Yeah, man. Yeah, she's so talented and she's so hardworking, but more than anything, everyone will attest to this. She is such a light. And she is such a, just gives everyone the time of day, gives everyone a smile, and is just genuine about it too. It's not fake. Absolutely. And so, yeah, Megan.
Megan, man, shout out to Megan. Where can we find her on social media so people can follow her?
Yeah, I'd say Instagram, the Megan Carr, TheMeghanCarr.
Oh, man. Shout out to Megan, man. Sounds like I hope I get a chance to meet her tonight.
Hey, if you come to, she's in LA.
Oh, she's in LA. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I'll get
she's grinding. She's working.
Love it. So the thing is, I'm sending nothing but love to her as well. Like, I'm pretty sure we're going to cross paths, man.
Eventually.
But she sounds
come out
amazing,
to LA,
man.
bro.
I'll be there. LA, I'm coming. Creative Chronicles, LA on the way. All right. But that's our segment of Love is Free. Jaden, man, I'm going to let you get up out of here, man. You got to catch a premiere. Look, let the audience know where they can find you, where they can support you, anywhere. I'm talking about social media, email, you name it, website. Let them know where they can follow your journey, bro.
Yeah, I would just say Jadon Cal, any platform. JADONCAL.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I dropped my last name on my stage name because it was long and complicated. It felt like
what was it?
Fitzpatrick, which is not too long, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad. But a lot of people would say Fitzgerald, or and just people. Yeah, it's one of those things, and And I also kind of wanted to build up my own name and not use my dad's because he was in Star Trek, Armageddon.
Nice.
He did soap operas and all that stuff, and I was like, let me just see what I can do with just me.
Absolutely. Jadon Cal.
That's it.
Man.
Short and sweet. And, Brad Pitt was one of the inspirations. I was like, short and sweet. Brad Pitt. Jadon Cal. Brad Pitt. Jadon Cal. It sounds pretty close.
And it sounds so cool to say. That's why I love saying Jadon Cal. I'm going to say it 3 more times. Jadon Cal. There you have it. Jadon Cal. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Jadon Cal. Look, see, it just sounds fun. But the thing is, y'all make sure y'all follow Jadon Cal. My brother, it was a pleasure having you. Thank you for coming to Atlanta. Thank you for giving me the time, the space on your special day to even do this podcast, man. I'm forever grateful.
Yeah.
I'll be in LA soon to see you and Megan, man. And Jake, too. I'm going to get Jake on the podcast, too. He thinks he's dodging me. But hey, guys, make sure you check out Creative Chronicles podcast. I am your host, Dee Boogie Brown. Make sure you follow us everywhere. And we're going to keep this show rocking and rolling. Off rip. On the way.
Off rip, baby.
Yeah.